Hey everyone, and welcome to one more episode of Protecting Wildlife. And today we have Leonardo Davila with us, and he's working with Amazon Rainforest CREA, and he will tell you more about that. So welcome, Leonardo.
Hi, Tanja.
Hey.
It's good for me to be here. Thank you so much for this opportunity to explain about the big problem that we have here in Amazonia.
You're most welcome. Can you please say the name of the organization? Because as you know, it was a little bit difficult for me to say.
Yeah, well, the name of the center is CREA. CREA means Amazon Rescue Center.
Amazon Rescue Center, that's, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you tell short about what is this organization about?
Yeah, so we are working very hard for the conservation of different endangered species here in Amazonia, but our main endangered species is the giant of the Amazon River. That is the Amazonian manatee. This is in a critical endanger now for many reasons. And for that reason, we are trying to save this beautiful animal here in this part of the Amazonia.
Beautiful. And before we are starting the questions, so to you out there, the internet is a little bit shaky from the Amazon to Denmark. So please be just take a deep breath.
Yes, it's a little bit complicated this part. We don't have a good internet, but we can try to do something really good here.
We will make it perfect. So the first question I have for you, Leonardo, is what is the 3 biggest threats you're facing in your work?
The 3?
Yeah.
3. Well, I think the biggest problem that we have here in Amazonia is that people don't know about our animals. So that we see in 2007 when we start this 2007, yeah, when we start this project, we do a very small question in many schools here in Iquitos, and mostly of the children, mostly of the professors right there, the teachers, didn't know, for example, about the Amazonian manatee here in this part of the forest. And so, how you can take care of something that you don't know?
Good question.
That reason, yeah, we start to develop this project here in Amazonia. Other problem is in many communities. So that is from the cities here in Iquitos. But in many communities, some people know this is an endangered species, or some of animals are endangered, but they continue doing the same. But and why? They have they know this, but they continue doing the same. And we were checking that it's a problem when they were young. They don't have good contact with animals, with good contact with the nature. They don't have respect for the nature, and so this can explain you how we were changing this maybe later in this presentation. And so another big question, another big problem here is the tourists. The tourists in many parts of the Amazonian are coming just to see animals, and sometimes the animals are in different places where people are hunting a lot of animals from the jungle. They have animals to show people. Sometimes the tourists come here to keep us to holding animals, to take pictures, to take selfies, and so but they don't know these animals are hunted from the jungle, and when those animals die, the hunters are going to hunt more animals, and so this is happening year by year.
That is awful.
Yes.
Oh my God. How do you deal with this threat in your work? Like, what is how do you deal with this threat? Like, create awareness around it, or how do you deal with them?
What we do for this?
Yeah, what the threat, like, how do we turn the threat around to something powerful?
Yeah, so I think, well, I want to say this. We saw that the people sometimes have information, as I told you. They know it's illegal hunt animals. They know it's illegal give pollution for the rivers, but they don't care. They don't like, and so they do it. They are continuous doing the same. And there's some other people that I'm not doing this. are not doing this, are taking care of the environmental, are taking care of the animals. And so what is the difference? We were checking why this different, but why some people help the nature and why some people don't care. And so we were checking this for a long time because we start to develop some environmental education program. And so with the Amazonian manatee, this is an endangered species, and now the Amazonian manatee became a symbol of the conservation animals here in Amazonia. And we start to develop a lot of environmental location where we are trying to work with children because it's easier to change the mind of the children. It's easy for people to be involved in this kind of project. So we were checking why some people help to the nature because when they were children, they had good experience with the nature. They have good memory with the nature. Their fathers teach them how to protect the nature. And some other person don't have this kind of opportunity. For that reason, we developed here in the Amazon Rescue Center some work with children where we are trying to get a new experience for them. And maybe when they are adults, they can be another ambassador on the conservation for the Amazon, for this part of the Amazonia. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
I understand it. You talk good English. I will say if I don't understand you.
Yeah. And so with this, we are developing a lot of environmental education work. Where we are working hard for children to get new memories for them, good memories, good internship with the forest, and the Amazonian manatee became a symbol of the conservation animals here in this part of Peru.
I'm just curious, how big can they be, because it is a huge animal in the water?
Sorry?
How big can they be? Just to be curious, how big can they be, the manatees?
How big they can grow?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah. So this is the largest mammal because the full size is almost 3 meter long. I think 9 feet. 3 meter long, and the full weight is about 450 kilos.
Oh my God, that's a big animal.
It's a big animal. It's a big animal, but it's the harmless animals. It's the most noble species that we have here in this part of the Amazon. They don't have teeth like insects or canine. They don't have claws. And the principal food when they are adult are plants because they are vegetarian. They eat only aquatic plants. And when they are babies, as all the mammals, they need only mother's milk. And the big problem here in Amazonia is that the people are hunting manatees for meat because the people eat manatee meat. And when the people find babies, they try to keep those babies as a pet, or they try to sell them someplace just to have an exhibition for tourists, for this. And all the babies died. All the babies died because they don't know how to take care of babies. The babies are very, very sensible for food. And so
they're going down in the water and killing the mom and taking the cub with them to earn money on it in tourists.
Yeah. For example, the last year we rescued 3 babies from the near Tiquitos, near to the road, in a fish farm. The person who has this animal trying to keep them like a dog. One of these baby was in a really bad condition. Unfortunately, not survived this baby, but the other 2 babies are really good, are very healthy. So the job that we are developing here is we rescue those animals from people that try to keep us a pet. They will pass for a recovering process, and our final objective is we have to release them, but in protected areas. Like we have some reserves here, like Pacaya Samiria. It's a big national reserve where we release them and we track them for almost 1 year. We are developing some research work about tracking manatees when they are already free.
That is beautiful. So you release them back to the wild in a protected area where it's like where people not can come in. Is that understand correctly?
Yeah. So we released in that place in protected area, and also as I told you, we were developing environmental location works, and so we work there into this reserve because there are some communities living there, and so there are some groups of, for example, groups of fishermen, and they help us to track the mantis. And those people, we were working with them with long time, and they protect their resources into that area. They are like guardians in that place, and we work very hard with them, and they help us when we release those animals into that area. They help us to track them. They help us out, some our researchers that we have here. Yeah, it's a very it's a nice work that we have with them in these places.
That is
But
beautiful. Do you also
yeah,
have
but
other, just a curious question, do you also have other animals beside the manatees at the organization?
yeah, so we start with manatees. We start rescue manatees, but we saw that the illegal traffic here in Amazonia is very big, and sometimes the local police, the ecological police, when they confiscate some animals, there is not good. There are no. There is not many places that can reside those animals, and
Mm-mm.
sometimes it's very difficult for when they confiscate animals in a really bad condition that need treatment, veterinary treatments. And for that reason, we start to reside some of the kind of animals. For example, we reside monkeys, some birds, turtle. We have some turtles, and also those animals need to pass for a recovering process before liberation. Our objective with all the manatees, with all the animals is the liberation. That's our final objective. But some of them come here in a really bad condition with broken wings, without some part of the body, with big injuries, or sometimes some of those animals, they were pets for a long time with other persons, and now they trust in people. And sometimes that kind of animals, it's a little bit difficult release them. And for that reason, we try to give a better life here in our center. But with the mostly of the animals, we have to release them.
That is beautiful. That is also a beautiful process to be a part of that, to release the animal back to the wild. It's just the most amazing feeling get in the body, I must say.
Yes, and I think the hard work, well, it's a nice work that we are developing here, saving animals, but we don't educate people. If we don't change the mind of the people, this is not working, because the people will continue doing the same. For that reason, we are working very hard in the environmental education program. In our last 10 years, we are almost 11 years working. So it was very easy before this project started. It was very easy to go to the market and find mantis meat in the market. It was very easy to see many places here around Iquitos to see baby mantis in captivity. It was very easy to find it.
It's
But now,
horrible.
now, this is less and less year by year, but because the people know the Amazon manatee is an endangered species. And some our rescue that we did, it was thank you some people that called to the police to say somebody have a manatee right there, and now they know that it's illegal. And for that reason, here in Iquitos, in this part, it's very difficult to find a person who has a manatee now, who has a mouth. But the Amazonia, in this part, the Amazonia is very big. It's a very big place. So in Iquitos, it's almost nothing with manatees. But there is other places here around this part of the Amazonia. So we are in Loreto. Loreto is a big department here in Peru, with many small villages, and so we have very hard work to do. We want to do the same that we did here in Iquitos, but in many other places here around.
That is a really beautiful success story to what had changed at your experience, like you tell how it's changed the last 10, 11 years to say it. So what have you done to get that very beautiful success process happened?
Sorry, can you repeat again? So the internet is slow.
Oh my God, I can remember that when I was in Guatemala, the internet was just, oh, not good. So the success story you are talking about in the last 10 years, that you saw manatees in small aquariums compared to now that you don't see so many more. So what have you done to make that beautiful success story?
I think the most beautiful success is the most beautiful tool that we have here is the environmental education work, because we developed it, man. We rescued animals, but without the environmental education work, this change it wasn't possible. It wasn't, for example, as I told you, we did some questions for children in the school 10 years ago before this program started, and professor, children, and many persons. We did a very simple question for them: draw some animals from the jungle. And so the children and some professors, some teachers start drawing animals, but they draw lions, giraffe, they draw rhinos. So that animals, why they draw those animals? Because they see those animals on television. But here in this part of the Amazonian, we don't have those animals. We don't have lions, we don't have giraffe, we don't have, and so that is I don't know how I can say this in English, but with this we see that the people don't know about our animals, and so that was I don't know 11 years ago. But now, if you go to the schools, if you ask some children the same question, they start to drawing pink dolphins, they start to draw Amazonian manatees, they start to drawing macaws, spider monkeys, some animals that we have here in this part of the Amazonia. And so even if you go to the schools, you will see in some of the walls Amazonian manatees. Even in the airport, we have a very big. So the government put a very big, how can I say, flag with the Amazonian manatee right there.
Yeah, I don't know, banner. I don't know if it's the English word banner, like a big picture, like
yeah. And so this 10 years ago, it was complicated to see. But now that people are changing the mind, and it was thanks the environmental education work. It was thanks the work we are developing here with tourists, because the Amazon Rescue Center also work with a lot of tourists, and the tourists come here to learn what is the problem that we have here in Amazonia, what they cannot do here when they are traveling here in Amazonia, and how they can help to protect some animals here. And so some of our support also here for this center is the tourists here, and so they come to learn about this. I think it's really important. For that reason, I think the most successful thing for us, it was the environmental education program that we developed here.
That is amazing, and there's also a big point to really educate people in the important in the environment.
Educate people is really important. For that reason, we did this question before: how can you protect something without if you don't know? So we are giving information for
and exactly. And when you're saying that is, how can you protect something if you are in pain? So if, let's say, I'm so much pain inside, if I'm not deal with some crisis in life and I'm just keep it inside, how can I protect wildlife when I'm so like unhealthy in our mind? So we also need to work on ourselves to really help and serve the animals, like serve the manatees.
Yeah. So I can hear the last word that you say, because it's the last word. Sorry.
So what I'm saying is, like, how, like you say, how can we help the manatees when we don't have the awareness about the manatees or the awareness about the wild animals? So I get a deeper point is, how can we serve the animals when we have so much pain or something in us, like if we are suffering inside, like have an unhealthy mind. So like if I get to create a different, I need to be the different, like inside and out. You also talking about that, like to create awareness to really serve the amenities.
Yes, so we are trying to get more people involved in this kind of project.
Yeah,
We are
that is
trying,
amazing.
yeah, we show them what is the problem and what they can do. For that reason, we were working with some adults, and for them it's a little bit difficult to change the mind of adults, because sometimes
It
for
is.
fishermen they were hunting long time animals, they were hunting, but for
Yeah.
children it's easier.
It is
It was
easier.
it was amazing because we did one rescue thanks one child, because he was a son of a fisherman. He was a son of a fisherman. He was saying that he was in our environmental education program, and he learned about the Amazon manatee. He knows nothing endangered species, and when uh, his father hunted a manatee, but that was an accident because this animal was into the net, and so he told his father that it's an endangered species. And then he knows that this animal need to be with his mother in the wild. But if you keep this animal is going to die. I know a place where they can help this animal. And so their father called us and to help with this match. And now that was almost 5 years ago. And now that manatee is already free. It's already free because we rescued this animal and we released. Until now, we released almost 25 manatees. We
Oh
released
wow.
25 manatees. We did in two big reserves, and all the manatees that we released them, they are really good. They are really good. We track them for almost 8 months because
Oh wow.
for us it's really important to know if those animals going to survive in the new habitat. And so for that reason, we must track them. We must track them. And so now we didn't have problems. All the animals are okay. They were adapted really good into the new habitat.
Well, how long time is the manatees at the organization before you release them?
How long? What is
How long?
the recovering process for them?
Yes.
How long is the recovery process? Well, depends. Sometimes it's very difficult, but sometimes come here very juveniles. And so the juveniles eat plants, and it's very easy for them adapt to the new habitat again because they are eating plants. They are almost adults. The problem is when they come here very small. Sometimes, mostly of our rescues are babies without 3 or 5 months old, very young.
Oh wow.
So the Amazonian manatee are considered babies until 2 years, because for 2 years they drink milk, and after 2 years they start to eat plants. They're gonna eat little by little, but this process is very small. It's very slow because if you give plants, if you give plants meds, they can have problems because this process, this weaning process, takes time. Also, 2 years they drink milk. 1 more year they are in a weaning place, learning how to eat plants, and 1 more year they need to be in a pre-adaptation area before the liberation because in this process, when the manatees are drinking milk, so they trust in people. They come to ask milk. They are asking for milk, but the last year need to be in a very special place without contact with people, where those animals can get the food alone, living with other kind of animals in a big place like in the nature habitat. And we will try to capture again in this place So the manatee is trying to escape, and this is a good behavior that we need to wait. And when these animals have this behavior, they are almost ready for liberation. When the manatees don't come, when they escape again, when we are trying to capture again this place. And so the process, the rehabilitation process, is almost 3 or 4 years for
That is
only one manatee.
that is a long time. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
When you
it's
say
a long
2 years to drink milk, it's like that is a long time to be with a mom. I
Yeah,
must
it
say.
takes long time. Yeah. So
Wow.
even so, the Amazonian manatee is a very special animal. The milk in Peru, there is not a special milk for them. Here we are working also with the Dallas World Aquarium, who help us, and they support some part of the project, and they donate a special milk for those animals. That milk is a little bit expensive, but it's good for them because with this we can have a right diet for them. They can get weight about 1 kilo a week drinking only that milk. Here we are giving
Wow.
milk every 2 hours like a baby. Yeah, it's a hard work with them.
Oh my God. So with that knowledge you have now and what you're sharing, it's so important with education. So what do you want to advise other people that are seeing this interview?
So how the people can help in their daily day.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
Yeah, so I think if the most important for people, very simple, is if they travel to other places like Amazonian, like in Africa, like in the, so try to don't looking for animals to take picture with them. Try to don't do selfies with animals, wildlife animals, because they don't know they don't know how many animals are dead, just to do this picture. And this is a big problem that we have here in Amazonia in many parts of the world. And many people are coming to looking for animals just to take pictures. And so a good tourist, if they travel, trying to don't do this. I think other things is if you go if you go out, try to get the best information about the places that you visit, because for example in this part of the Amazonia we have many places without license that they are hunting animals just to
Oh,
show
really?
people. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Many places that yeah that are doing this, and they were doing this for long time ago. So, and so I think something really important is to get information about this. And something other good things is uh, try to spread out the work that we are developing in some places like in the Amazon Rescue Center, because they help us to other people to know more about the endangered species that we have here in Amazonia. And well, if it's possible, try to help this kind of centers, because uh, some our main support here in this kind of projects are volunteer donations. If the people want to help to this kind of centers, I think some volunteer donation for them, for us, or for other institutions, organizations is really important to continue developing this kind of project here in this part of the Amazon.
Just talk about how people can support your work as also come like donation and to
Yeah,
be a volunteer.
how we support our job, our
Yeah,
work here.
exactly.
Yeah, so Delaware Aquarium help us a lot with the milk and support part of the project, and also the we are working with tourists here, and so our support here is about tourists, and mostly our support are volunteer donation also. For that reason, the last pandemic, the pandemic, it was really bad for us.
Oh,
It was really
really?
bad for us. Yeah, because yeah, it was a very,
because of the corona.
Yeah, for Corona. Yeah, no tourists come here.
No.
And
No
so, and,
volunteers either.
and the animals, it's a lot.
True. So how can people, for me in Denmark, support your work in my actions?
Yeah, so we have a Facebook webpage. And so in our Facebook webpage, you can get all the information about this. So there is a number account if the people want to help this project.
When I'm in Denmark, besides I can volunteer and donate to your organization, how can I else support your organization? Like I can share the message, but what can I really think about in my lifestyle?
In the lifestyle, yeah. I think sharing the information. You can follow us in our webpage, on Facebook, and Twitter, and you can share the information about the work that we are developing here. I think it can help us a lot to do this if you do this also.
Beautiful. So if there was the last message you want to share with the audience, what will that be, Leonardo?
Sorry, what did you say?
What? I also practice my English. My English is not either good. So what's the last message? Like what message do you want to give to the audience, like the last thing what you want to give to the audience?
So what message I can give? Yeah, I understand. I think well, that the work that we are developing here, I think is really important for all the people, are important for the Amazonian. And I think our message is all the animals in the world are really important, but some of them need our help. And if it's in our hands to help, if we can do it. We can do this, and so to try to involve in this kind of project, because this is not helping only the animals. This is helping the world. This is helping the world. So I think now in the world many things are changing, but it's in our hands to change these kind of things. Yeah, so that's my message that I can share with you.
Perfect.
All is in our hands.
Perfect. And so to you out there, when you go back to the newsletter, there is a workbook from the organization. There is the stand like 5 action steps you could do. And we really inspire you to look at them and choose to use 15 minutes to 30 minutes after this interview, so you can put some commitment on it, because we get to put some commitment on the information we get. At that point, we'll make a change and new habit in our brains. So we thank you so much for being in this interview together with us. And thank you, Leonardo, so much. Muchas gracias for being in this interview.
Muchas gracias a ti. Thank you so much, Tanja, for this. So it was really fun, and it was really good for me to share this information to the world, share this information with other people that are interested in this kind of project. I know if we are many people in this, we can change the world. So that I think we hope this happens.
It's you have a beautiful message, I must say. It really touched my heart. So thank you so much for that message.
Thank you so much, Dan.
You're most welcome. And thank you so much again. Muchas gracias and adios.
Adios. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Bye.